A lot of people think that you can only move to the UK through the study pathway or the care visa. But the truth is that there are other pathway, easy pathway to move to the UK. And in today's video, I brought an amazing person who is going to explain all of this pathway to you in details. Now, with this pathway, you could move to the UK as a tailor. You could move to the UK with other occupations. If you'll be interested, then keep on watching. Welcome to the channel, Marilyn. Please, could you introduce yourself?
Hi, Clara. Thanks for having me. Yeah, my name is Marilyn, and let me maybe focus on my immigration side of me. Like, I came to the UK.
Like immigration expert. Like, when I'm talking about immigration expert, she's like a bamba. She's like
to an extent. I migrated to the UK 6 years ago. One of the top things that come onto your mind as an immigrant is, what's next after this phase, right? How do I maybe chart a pathway towards settlement or have plans, migration plans and all that? So from day one, that was the big question mark for me. And sometime just at the point where I was still doing my PhD, I came across the Global Talent Visa. I've been able to support a lot of persons in tech, both software engineers, program managers, cybersecurity experts. So I've kind of met a lot of different expertise and worked with different persons to help them shape a good application and submit a strong application as well. Yeah, so that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah, so about this visa generally, what are the requirements? What do they need? Is it like the skilled worker visa? Is it like the care visa? What is so unique about this visa type that is different from the others? Like I said, most people, especially my audience, they think that they can only come to the UK through this other visa type I've mentioned. So what is so different about this visa? What is good and unique about this visa that would attract my audience into considering it? Like, I really need to know, because I'm also here learning. So
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame anyone that dominantly focuses on skilled worker visa or maybe post-study, because when you are in that space, when you are at that point, and it just looks like that might be the only option. So a lot of people just feel they are limited to that option. And that is why, I really do create that awareness now, because most people don't know. And even if they know, just like myself, the first time I came across it, I felt this Global Talent Visa is not for me. Maybe because I'm not a Nobel Prize winner, I'm not a professor, I'm not this or that. So I don't fit into that narrative, but I was all wrong. So the first thing is to realize that, you don't need to limit yourself to just one pathway, because every other person is pursuing it. And you think that that's the only path that will be suitable for you.
Talking about that, I think that's like human mentality. Sorry to cut you off. When you see that this particular thing, people are rushing it, they go for it, not knowing that the ones that people are not looking at are the ones that are more better and has less competition. So going back to requirements, like when I'm asking of requirements, do you need IELTS? Do you need proof of fund? What do you need? What are the documents needed? And this and that.
Good. So the very first thing that you really need in the Global Talent Visa is yourself. You need to be a strong candidate. And when I say strong candidate, you need your career background, right? What you've been doing, let's say in the past 5 years, because that's what's most important to them. It doesn't matter what you've done past 10, 15. It might come in handy, right? Because whatever you were doing so many years ago, if you still along that line, you built a portfolio over the years. So the whole genesis of the Global Talent Visa is that that's for the UK and for most other countries, is they want to attract the best and brightest. When you hear best and brightest, don't be taken aback and feel, oh no, I'm not the best and the brightest. But in their definition, right, there are certain things they're looking out for. But what they're looking for, in a nutshell, is they are looking for people who are leaders or who are potential leaders. That's the thing. So you don't need to feel, I need to be at the top of my career to be qualified for this, even when you've made some efforts, you've made some achievements, along that path. They also recognize people who have the potential to be leaders, and they are at the early phases of their career.
Talking about what you've done, like what kind of career, what kind of career opportunities are needed for this global talent visa? You know, what kind of career? Is it nursing? Is it this? Is it that?
Yeah. So broadly, for the UK, broadly, I'll categorize it into digital technology,
Okay.
because these categories are based on the endorsing bodies, right?
Okay.
The bodies that endorse, so endorsing bodies are bodies that they will take your application, and if you qualify, then they would recommend you, for the visa, and that's the role they play. That's the role they play. They are not sponsors. They are not sponsoring you, so your visa is not tied to them.
Yeah.
You know, yes. So, but I'll still maybe talk about that if we want to compare that to the skilled worker one. Yeah. So what you would need if you're going to be endorsed by for the digital technology route, then you have built a career in tech, and that career in tech does not necessarily mean that you need to be a programmer, because when you say tech, everybody thinks you have to be a software engineer or something. But
Yeah.
you could have, for example, you've been doing digital marketing, for example, but in tech, in tech companies over the years. So, or you are a non-technical person, maybe a project manager in tech, that also fits in. So you might be technical or non-technical. So that's one route, digital technology. The other routes are for those that are really creative. So if you're in the creative category, arts, culture, fashion, fashion design,
Tailoring.
and that category, yeah, exactly, and you've really achieved something that's been recognized in some way, maybe you've been featured somewhere, you've
Yeah.
really made a mark,
Kind of
then
celebrating or.
yes, exactly. And you don't need to be like that super celebrity, or
Yeah.
that winner of some maybe
Yeah.
super prestigious award. It could just be maybe something within the country, something within your region.
The question that has been left unanswered now is, do they need any English proficiency exam? Do they need to show any knowledge in English or something like that?
No, they
No,
don't.
I don't.
There's not a requirement. No, no
No,
IELTS
that's
at all.
yeah, because the IELTS is like a very, should I say, it holds people back, especially with all this kind
Yeah,
of visa, the care worker visa, skilled worker visa. The IELTS is like a challenge to a lot of people, and I don't blame them. It requires a lot reading, and. So another question
yeah.
is, do one need proof of fund to apply for this visa type?
So, for the application, first of all, there is the first stage for the application is the endorsements. When you're applying for the endorsement, you don't need to show any proof of fund. Then in stage two, when you're also applying for stage two, you really don't need a proof of fund at that stage. So the proof of fund is like showing that you can sustain yourself
So,
for
yeah.
maybe a 1 year or 9 months. And no, don't need that in your application.
It doesn't necessarily mean that they must be in the UK to apply. So this global talent visa means that even if they're not in the UK, they can apply for this visa. So like overseas applicants, international candidates can apply for this visa,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. From
So,
anywhere, yeah, you can apply, and you
anywhere in
can
the
bring your
world.
family as well. You can
So
bring
they can bring
your family or
family.
dependents. Yes, even if your
And is
family
it
are
like
they are
a
10 in
mass?
number, immediate.
Oh,
No, immediate family or not extended. No, no,
that was what I
your
wanted to
parents
hear.
and
Because I'm all about looking for the opportunity for those who need to move to, abroad, the UK to be precise, with their
yeah,
family. Reason why my
yeah,
channel is focused on that, moving with family and your dependent, your spouse, your children, and you get what I'm trying to say.
yes,
So one
yes.
question that I've actually been meaning to ask is, how can you help them? Is there any way you could help them with this application? And what duration is this visa type? Like, is it a 3-year visa, 4-year visa, 5-year visa, what duration is it?
Okay. Let me I'll start from the duration, and then I'll talk about, maybe I'll start from the duration, then talk about even the benefits, because some
Okay.
persons may be wondering why this visa, how is it even different from the skilled
Why should I be
worker, from
student
the
visa and
others,
care
right?
visa and start applying for this one? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know.
So one of the benefits actually is that it's an accelerated route to ILR. What I mean by that is it's one of those very few, there are very few visa routes in this country, UK, that you can get your ILR and citizenship within a short time. But this is one of them. Within 4 years, that you can get your citizenship, get your ILR in 3 years. Then after 1 year, you then apply for citizenship. So that's
Wow.
4 years, which is super super cool. I mean, some persons spend 10 years in this country and they're still
No,
finding
no
their way to
citizenship.
to get settlement. So
No.
it's really cool, and that's one of the benefits. Really, you don't need a sponsor. Hmm. And I tell you, for me, that one is the biggest. When I saw that
You're not
benefit,
tied
I
to
was
any
like,
employer. Like that is a good news.
exactly,
Like, I think I should be
yeah.
jumping at this news.
Oh my.
So one question I'm going to ask now is, how long does it take to apply for this visa? Do you have like an agent or any agency body that could help my audience, process the visa, take them along and everything? Like, you already talk about the duration. That means coming with this visa, there's nothing like duration because you will be given your ILR in 3 or 5 years and you qualify to apply for your citizenship afterwards. So,
Yeah.
is there any agency, any supporting body that could help my audience process this visa? Legal one, licensed one that is not going to, I don't want to use the word, maybe scam them or something, or are you
Mhm.
into it? Since you're
Okay.
you're like an immigration expert and consultant, so you should know, you should know the drill.
I tell you, except maybe you have criminal conviction or that you've done something illegal. Once you have the endorsement, you're almost as good as you've gotten the visa. So the main
Oh,
work is in the stage one, and that's where we come in to support persons. I've been doing that for
that is
over,
your friend, right?
yeah, that's my area of specialization, that stage one. That's what we do at Scholar Lane. Like, helping, first of all, when people come to us, we want to know if they are even eligible, assessing their eligibility, and for them to, and we have like a free discovery session, 15 minutes, to just, for them to have a chat, open up a chat, to know if they are even, if it's a route that they should think of exploring in the first place. Then
It's
before,
amazing. You're giving them like a free 15 minutes one-on-one session. That is amazing.
yeah,
I've never
yeah,
seen
yeah. Because
that.
yeah, it's important, because some persons are just at the point where they are confused, and they don't even know what the global talent visa is about in the first place. So, but I've created a lot of awareness around it, and that's also the essence of this event that we're having, like this conversation, for more persons to be aware that this opportunity exists. So if you qualify for it, why don't you go for it? It's really good. I have benefited from it, and many other persons have benefited and testified of it. Yeah, so that is where we come in, is that endorsement, helping people, guiding them, taking them by the hand and showing them this is how it's done. It demystifying the process.
So this is a very good opportunity for everyone listening to us now. Firstly, is the fact that you're not tied to any employer. Guys, I'm in the UK here. Marilyn is in the UK here, and we are hearing a lot of stuff. Okay, most people coming in with a care worker visa, most especially, are finding it difficult even getting shift. So it's really crazy that you will come in here thinking, oh, you're coming in into the UK to work, live, you will bring your dependent, your family, and the rest, only to come here and no shift for you. And without shift, how would you pay your bill? So one thing I pick up from this discussion today is that this global talent visa gives you the opportunity to be free. Okay, and the fact that you have a permanent settlement pathway, that is your ILR, your citizenship, all is already assured. So guys, why not take a look into this visa? Marilyn is a legal immigration coach. I will be leaving a link in the description box where you could reach her for further discussion, because if she should say everything here today, we won't finish, okay? But she's really good. You guys know I don't really bring people to this channel often. So when I bring people, this is to show you that they are really good. And my focus is about moving abroad with your family, and also the easiest pathway to move abroad. So, guys, contact me, Marilyn. I'll be leaving a personal, a work number and a work details in the description box. If you are confused on how to reach her, or you don't know where the description box is, you can reach me on Instagram to give them to you. But I could assure you that for a fact that Marilyn is very good with this pathway to the UK. I've seen testimony, I've gone through our platform, and guys, 100%, this is coming from me, 100%, she would help you. She would help you. Okay, guys. So I hope this video is beneficial to you. And Marilyn, thank you so much for coming to this channel today. Like,
Thank you,
this
Clara.
is packed with vital information. Like, most people, like I said, I always, in fact, I'm becoming a wee bit irritated with the care visa and the student visa, pathway. So I think this is
Yeah.
a good opportunity. Thank you so much for coming here. Guys, don't forget to reach out. Let her help you with this. Like, she's helping you with this, okay? See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.